We have some breaking news to cover, as it seems that Zach LaVine will be out for the remainder of the 2023-24 season. We're going to break down everything that you need to know as Bulls fans here on Bulls Digest, as I'm your host, Joey Mercer. And before we get into it there today, I just want to say that about 85% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So make sure, if you aren't subscribed, to go down below, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and every single time we upload, you will be able to stay up to date with our takes on your Chicago Bulls. So without further ado, let's get into the topic at hand there today, and that is, of course, LaVine out for the season. This is something I wanted to hop on right away, as the news just came out about 20 minutes ago from when I'm recording this, that LaVine is out for the entire season, as he's going to have injury surgery on that foot. I mean, this injury has been ailing him now, it seems as if, off and on for a very long time when we look at the injury history, and it is no surprise that they decide to go this route, because he hasn't been shy to take some time out of the lineup so far this season, and instead of going in and out in pockets of time, might as well get it healthy again, come back stronger next season, and see what you can do from there on out. But this will really affect the Bulls' trade deadline proposals if Zach LaVine was involved in any moves, and it also affects how the Bulls are going to play for the rest of the season, as they won't be able to acquire pieces to fulfill his role necessarily unless they're willing to move on from other ventures and hopefully fill that hole. It's going to be very difficult for the Bulls going forward, but there's still hope that they can make some moves to save this season come trade deadline on February 8th, just a few days away now. First thing that we saw based on this and what I saw was a tweet from the Chicago Bulls official Twitter account, or X account, saying, "Injury update, Zach LaVine will undergo surgery on right foot as the next step in his recovery process. LaVine will be out 4 to 6 months. So that's quite a long period of time, but would have him ready for the next season, as I hope that he does have a solid offseason, recovers very well, and is back to tip-top shape for the 2024-25 NBA season, of course. Next thing we saw on this was an article when we clicked on the NBA.com one, and some additional information was, after seeking additional medical opinions, in consultation with the Chicago Bulls training and medical staff, guard Zach LaVine and Clutch Sports Group have elected surgery on LaVine's right foot as the next step in his recovery process. Surgery is anticipated the week of February 5th. So, right now, we're recording this, of course, and it will be uploaded on Saturday. So this coming week, it seems as if Zach LaVine's going to have some surgery there on his right foot, and we'll keep you up to date if there's anything that you need to know extra about that. Hopefully, everything goes smooth and well, and Zach has a speedy and great recovery for sure. The next thing we saw is, I just wanted to mention and show how the Bulls are playing without LaVine this season, to show you there are still hopes for a playoff berth with the Chicago Bulls' current team. We can see there that they're 13-11 without LaVine so far in this season. It says it includes playoffs, but obviously playoffs have not started yet, as it's just the All-Star break very soon and nowhere near playoffs. But we can also see with LaVine this season, you could see that the Bulls are 10-15, and that includes them being 5-2 before he just recently went down with an injury. So if you take that, simple math there, the Bulls were 5-13 without Zach LaVine before he went down with that most recent injury, and how they were to start the season with him in the lineup there. So that's interesting to note as well. They're 13-11 without him. And that includes games that they've had to miss Torrey Craig, of course, who's been out since the 16th of December. Now they have Dalen Terry out of the lineup. And they've also had Caruso out in small spurts, but still been out. And Patrick Williams just hasn't been healthy at all and seems to be out for about 2 to 3 weeks right now. We'll keep you up to date on that, as well, as injuries are really causing the Bulls a lot of struggles, as currently they're in the 9th spot in the East and just outside of reaching that playoff spot. It's only a couple of games back of being a solid playoff team, and I definitely think the Bulls can make that push. But with this new injury update and the injuries that we've had lately, a lot of updates on those, is not looking as great for the Bulls as it did just a short time ago. When we look into, we can see the injury history of Zach LaVine, and on Pro Sports Transactions is where I found this. They don't have the full updated of this season. However, we do know that he missed some time with inflammation in the foot, and then he had a sprain, and now it's more inflammation, so they're going to be doing surgery. But we can actually see here that it started off with a sprained left ankle, very minor injury there, but out for 2 weeks at the very start of his career back in 2015. You zoom to 2016 in November, he's only missing one game, and then he returns to the lineup, only out for 2 days total, but it's a sore right knee. Interesting enough. Then we can see on 2017 in January, not long from there, he gets a bruised left hip and he's day-to-day. It doesn't state when he returns from there, but we can see in February, that's when he gets the torn ACL and is out from the season in his left knee. We can then see a sprained right ankle. The right ankle is the one that's issued here again. That's in 2019 on January 30th. He returns to the lineup there about 2 weeks later. Then the right knee is once again injured. Now we can see he had a sore right knee, was only out for a day, so I wouldn't speculate too much in that, but he's out for a very short period of time with the right knee, comes back, then gets a bruised right thigh, and it's so late in the season that he's out for the season there as well. He returns to the lineup there recently on November 24th, and that's not exactly correct. I mean, it's been up and down with him with the injuries this season. Reports are all over the place with that. But we can see the sprained right ankle was on January 19th, and now he's out with that surgery on the ankle. So he's been out with the right ankle now twice. We can see a 2-week time span there, of course, in 2019, and we can also see most recently he was out with the ankle. So it seems as if that this was a bit of a prolonged injury, maybe something that came back from that in 2019. Injuries can come back over several years, of course, and have some issues with those. Luckily, the knee does seem all right, but as you can see, this is not the first time he's been stated out for the season, and that's only in the past 7 years. I wouldn't worry too much about it, as Zach is still very young, and I think he can still remain a player that's very explosive in this league, but that's another major injury on him, and the ankle is nothing to stray away from. It's a very serious injury. LeBron James missed an extended period of time with a high ankle sprain, and he came out and said it was the worst injury of his career. Now, LeBron's a guy that hasn't really faced too many injuries that have caused him to miss games, and there are probably some injuries behind the scenes that he's played through that we don't know about because he really hasn't missed many games at all in his NBA career. But when it comes to Zach LaVine, we know he's been out with the ACL. We know that the hip bruising caused him to be out for an extended period of time. It was going to be a minimum 2 weeks then just with a hip bruise. So you don't know what's going to happen there, and the decision to be made between him and Clutch Sports Group. Hopefully, of course, that this is just because they're wanting him to get the right surgery he needs. Hopefully he's not just trying to stray away from anything. I don't think that's what the case is here. I really do think that Zach hasn't been healthy so far this season. He didn't seem like himself, but as well, we also speculate a lot of this had to do with the trade deadline. I don't want to speculate that an athlete is injured when they're not actually. I really do hope that nobody would go ahead and do something as greasy, so to speak, as that. If you're injured, you're injured. Be accurate with it, and then follow through with the procedure or treatments that you need to get back on track with things. Now, I really do hope that Zach LaVine has a speedy recovery, as I said before, and hopefully the Bulls can still have a solid season as we make a strong push for the playoffs, and LaVine can come back stronger than ever in the 2024-25 season. This has been your host, Joey Mercer. Hope you enjoyed the video there of this breaking news, and if you did, make sure to go down below, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all in the next one. Sign out.